Hey guys, this is Mark Roberts. I'm making this video because I was having a discussion on Reddit with some people about a league analyzer, a way to look at your fantasy league, and a, a user named SpiderSilva09 contacted me, and he wanted me to put his league into my league analyzer and just see how things looked for him. So, hoping this tutorial will work for him, but also will work for anybody else that I end up sending this spreadsheet to. So anyway, I want to just give you a quick overview of how this spreadsheet works and kind of how to use it. So what we've done here, what I've done here, is I've taken the link that Spider Silva gave me to his league, and I've imported all of his rosters and all of his settings into my spreadsheet. So I know exactly which player is on which fantasy team. And then I've also imported my rest of season rankings for this season for each NBA player and attached that to each fantasy team. So as a result, I know what my projections say each fantasy team will get in terms of fantasy stats for the rest of the season. What this gives us is a projection of how the league will finish if my projections are exactly correct and no moves are made, no roster moves are made in this fantasy league. Obviously, those things won't happen, but it gives us a good idea of how the league currently stands. So just the way to read this is if we look down here, we look at the projections, the rest of season projections for the current rosters. Spider Silva told me his team was Dre Day right here. You can see his team is in a good position. He's the top team in the league. He's projected to be the top team in the league for the rest of the season in free throw percentage, three-pointers, and steals. And if this were a rotisserie league, he would overall be the projected top team for the rest of the season. Now, it's true that Spider Silva's league is a head-to-head league, and this spreadsheet is probably more useful for rotisserie leagues. I haven't made the modifications I need to make it a head-to-head league analyzer, and hopefully that's in the works. But anyway, this should be somewhat useful because you can sit here and say, well, Dre Day is probably going to be able to win free throw percentage most weeks. He's strong in three-pointers. Maybe if there's an area he needs to work in, it's assists, or perhaps he wants to go the other way and punt assists and try to strengthen rebounds or blocks or something like that. So you're still able to look at his relative position in the league and see where he would be good or not good. The functionality that I like most about this spreadsheet is that it allows us to look at a projection of a change in roster move. So like I said, this orange box is for the current rosters. This box up here is for new rosters, meaning if you make a roster move. And you can see right now they're exactly the same if you looked, because we haven't put in any roster moves. But if we go over to the green box over here, you can see I put in Dre Day's team or Spider Silva's team, and you can see some of the players and why likely he's doing so well. Anyway, we can also pick a different team down here and make a trade. And down here are all the players on the waiver wire, and we could make a pickup and see how that affects things. So let's give that a quick example here. Let's say Dre Day decides he wants to trade James Harden to the Sticky Bandits, and all he wants in return is, I don't know, let's say he's a huge Giannis Antetokounmpo fan, so he makes that move. You can see in our projections with the current rosters, nothing has changed. He's still the top team. But with the new rosters, he drops 12 rotisserie points from 65 to 53 and into third place. And again, for a head-to-head league, you'd probably want to just look at the individual categories. He's down in free throw percentage. He's down in threes. Actually, a summary of that is down here at the bottom. You can see he's down 2 rotisserie points, 1 three-pointer. He's up in rebounds. He's down in assists. He's down in steals. He's up in blocks. He's down in points. And so in total, he's lost what would, if it were a rotisserie league, he lost 12 rotisserie points. And you can kind of, like I said, tailor that to your head-to-head strategies. So it should be pretty simple. That's kind of how it works. As far as updates go, this should update pretty frequently, as often as Google updates their spreadsheets. It's linked to a dynamic spreadsheet that has my rest of season projections in it. So those should update, and it should pull down information from ESPN. Now, once in a while, Google doesn't seem to update properly on these spreadsheets. So if that doesn't work, just hit F5, reload your spreadsheet a couple of times until things look right. You'll notice there are rankings and auction values here. If those aren't, if James Harden is coming out as like the 80th best player, you just reload it until the data kind of looks appropriate. And as I said, hoping to make some modifications to this to make this a little more head-to-head friendly. I just haven't had the time to do that. So hopefully that's coming, but that's how my spreadsheet works. If you have any questions, just go ahead and comment to me send me a message either on Reddit or on Twitter. On Twitter, you can find me at Mark F. Roberts, and the Mark is spelled with a C, just like Marc Gasol. So there it is. Hope this helps, SpiderSilva, and anybody else who uses this. Thanks. Bye-bye.